As the perceptive may have noticed, there are these different mixes appearing, and we have, as I mentioned before, I think two of the greatest mixers in the world, in Tchad Blake and Spike Stent, and they definitely bring different characters. I'm playing mixes to a few people, and it's interesting because they are finding fans. Different people like the different approaches. I think Chaz is he's very much a sculptor, and the way he builds a journey with sound and drama, and I think maybe his has a darker narrative to it. Um, Spike, I think, loves sound and balancing and assembling these sort of pictures. It's almost like he's more of a painter and Chad is more of a sculptor. And I think, anyone who touches anything creative, you always stain what you're touching with who you are. And uh, and I have, a couple of great people here. So I think I'm very lucky. Buff is also doing these immersive mixes for Atmos, and he's doing a wonderful job. That's Hans Martin Buff, and I had a sort of immersive audio fantasy and spoke to the one of the Sennheiser bosses, who was very helpful and said, if you're going to do any of this stuff and take it seriously, you should be talking to Buff. And Buff had worked with Prince and a lot of German artists, but he's very much his own man, and he's also generating these much more three-dimensional mixes that I hope you'll also get a chance to hear. What's interesting is that from when I was first making records or whatever, the way people consume sound, songs, and music now is, I think, 60-70% through headphones. And so that gives us, as creators, the chance of putting people right inside this three-dimensional space. And what's amazing about that is, stereo, you've got some senses of up and down, but it's how do you fill that space across? But in this three-dimensional world, it's like you're taking it off in a balloon, and you can suddenly see all around, and you can position things very carefully and make events happen in space. So there's a sort of spatial composition, and I think Buff has a great attitude to all that. So I'm learning, and but I hope some of you will get a chance to check those out too.